So quantum well means if one dimension is reduced to nano range while the other two dimensions remain large. So that structure, nanostructure, no doubt that is also a nanostructure in which only one dimensional is reduced to nano range, nanometer, and other two dimensions, for example, width and consider this thin sheet. It has length, breadth, and thickness or height. So this height maybe it is in nanometer. This is in micrometer, for example. Suppose this is also in micrometer. So one dimension is in nanometer, other two dimensions are large, comparatively large. For us, micrometer is also small value. But as compared to this size, nanometer size, the other two sizes, they remain large. Then we obtain the structure called as quantum well. Okay. What is quantum wire? If two dimensions are reduced to the nano range, while one dimension remain large, then we obtain the structure known as quantum wire. So if now here only one dimension was in nanometer, so if you consider a nano wire having two dimensions reduced to nano range, this is in nanometer, this breadth is nanometer, height is also in nanometer, and let us say this length is in micrometer. Then such kind of structure, it is called as quantum wire. Nanometer means how much? There should be some limit. Generally, quantum structures, they are having dimensions 1 to 10 nanometer only. Okay, and 1 to 100 nanometer is the broad definition. In broad definition of nanostructure, nanoparticle, we use this 1 to 100 nanometer dimension. But in quantum structures, when we talk about quantum structures, they are in the dimension, what is the range? 1 to 10 nanometer. So this width and height, let us say, is in nanometer, and the third dimension is in micrometer. That remains large as compared to these two dimensions. Then we obtain a structure known as quantum wire. Okay. And third type is called as quantum dot, where all the three dimensions are reduced to nano range. Okay. Then we obtain a structure called as quantum dots. So now you can see the structure. Quantum dots, it is rectangular. I have taken a rectangular structure. That's why I am taking all the quantum wires and quantum dots also in rectangular shape, but not necessarily it is in a rectangular type. Curvilinear structure can also be there. Like I will show you. This is nanometer. This height is also in nanometer. Length, breadth, all they are in nanometer. How much? In the range 1 to 10 nanometer. Okay. So all these structures, they are called as quantum dots. Okay. So in rectangular nanostructures, we can take a quantum well first. We can obtain quantum wires by taking the slices of this, and again taking the slices of this, we can get quantum dots. Okay, so nano well to nanowire, and then quantum well to quantum wire, and then quantum dots. This is the way we can go in creating quantum dots from quantum well. First, we have to reduce it into this one, or directly we can derive this quantum dot structure from a quantum well. But quantum well is the initial structure from which we can derive quantum wire and quantum dot. Okay, so there are different processes, physical processes. Top-down approach is taken to create these quantum dots. So rectangular nanostructures we can derive like this, or curvilinear are also there, where this is circular disc. So this will be quantum well, a thin sheet of material, a semiconductor material, or generally these dots can be of quantum dots can be created from many materials, but here we are referring to semiconductor material. I will explain later on why. So quantum well structure is a round shape, thin sheet of round shape material, right, where you can see the thickness in nanometer. This can be a bigger diameter, or radius can be of large dimension. Okay. Then, is there any third dimension here in this rectangle, in this curvilinear shape? Is there any third dimension? Either it is cylindrical type, so it should have radius or diameter and thickness, right? So only two dimensions are there. Then wire, it is again cylinder. Now here diameter is in nanometer, 1 to 10 nanometer you can take, and the length is in micrometer. So this is quantum wire, or quantum dots will be round shape, sphere. Okay, so this will be quantum dot. Okay, so spherical quantum dots or cuboidal quantum dots are some irregular shaped quantum structures are also there. Okay, in which if there is a flex type, so you can see that they have different sides. Nanoflex we can call it. The thickness can be in nanometer region. Okay, so such kind of various nanostructures are available either in nature or they can be created in labs. Okay, depending on the way or method by which you are synthesizing nanomaterial, that also matters. The process time, the temperature, the precursors, all these parameters will affect its size, shape, right? So these are all about quantum well, quantum wires, and quantum dots. Now, how to prepare all these materials? Now, it is not easy to take any bulk material and create nano particle. That is not so easy, right? There are different ways. In the first lecture only, we have seen there are two approaches. First is, anybody remembers, by which we can go and synthesize these nanoparticles. Two methodologies are there, top down and bottom up. Top down and bottom up. So from bottom up means these are generally chemical methods in which precursors are taken and at atomic and molecular level, we collect all these atoms, molecules, and it is converted into nanoparticle. And you have seen the methods in the last lecture only. We have seen various methods to create clusters, nanoclusters or nanomaterial or nanoparticle, right? Physical methods, plasma, arc discharge method, and so on. We have seen chemical methods also. So these nanoparticles can be created by those methods called as chemical methods. Soft chemical route, it is called as soft chemical route, and it takes the bottom-up approach from atoms to nanoparticle. Atoms are very small in size. From that, nanoparticles, which are bigger than atoms, they can be created. Several atoms together form a nanoparticle or a nanocluster. Then top-down approach is what? A bulk material is taken and it is converted into nanomaterial by breaking the bulk material, right? So we have to take this physical route by breaking or some other method. That method we will see in a short while. We can convert bulk material into nanomaterial. Okay. So in this case, quantum structure is a very small size structure, 1 to 10 nanometer. So to create it, we require a specialized method. We will see. Now quantum confinement is the process which is observed when we deal with such kind of small sized materials. It traps particles and restricts their motion. So where it is trapped, the restriction comes when the dimension, where the dimension is in nanometer, right? For example, see this diagram. You can see here, this is density of states plotted on y-axis versus energy. And this is three-dimensional structure, which is our bulk material, in which all the dimension they are large in micrometer or more. Okay, if you you can take the material, bulk material, which is having size other than the nanomaterial, right? Greater than nanometer, sorry. So bulk size material is called as three-dimensional material, in which all the three dimensions they are in micrometer. Whereas this quantum veil is two-dimensional material, in which two dimensions they are in micrometer scale and one dimension is in nanometer. Okay, so here 20 nanometer is shown here. 20 nanometer is the size of this one dimension, and other sizes they are greater. These are greater. Okay, so this is called as 2D material. Next is one-dimensional material, that is called as quantum wire. If you see the structure, quantum wire 1 and 2, these are two dimensions which are reduced into nanometer, and the remaining dimension is in micrometer. This is micrometer, these two are in nanometer, right? So such kind of structure is called as quantum wire and one dimension. And here zero dimension means only that means all three dimensions are in nanometer, and this is also nanometer. Okay, and if you see their graphs, there is considerable difference. For bulk material, density of states, you can see a continuous line, and here for quantum well, you can see staircase like structure, and in for quantum wire, they are spikes having different energy, the peaks at different energies, and this is for quantum dots. So quantum dots are having discrete energy levels. We have seen in the last or previous lectures that the energy gap between the levels increases when the size of the particle reduces, right? Further, if you reduce in the nanometers range, then this gap will increase and the levels, energy levels, they become discrete. That's why we are getting single lines, discrete lines for quantum dots. Okay, so this is continuous. So all these for bulk material, you can see the energy levels, they are lying very near to each other. Okay. As the size is reduced, then this continuum, this is called as continuum, this will reduce into discrete energy levels as you go on decreasing the size. Okay. So that's why we are getting this change structure from continuous to staircase to spikes and then discrete levels. Okay, so these are basic differences between all these three nanostructures and the bulk material. Okay, so quantum confinement produces new material behavior phenomena. So when this bulk material changes its state from bulk to nano, then at first the properties will remain same, but after some time, during this transition from bulk to nano, the material properties start to change, and at one stage the material will experience different properties which are different from this bulk material. Okay, so for example, take optical property. If it is suppose for bulk material, if the material is light emitting material, then maybe when it is reduced to nano size, its intensity will increase, or it can change color, emission color. Okay, we have seen quantum CDSE and all materials, cadmium selenide, cadmium sulfide, CDSE, all these are semiconductor quantum dots, and these materials changes its emitted color when the size of the particle changes. Okay, from 1 to 10 nanometer also. Beautiful colors from blue to red you can see. Okay, so just 1 nanometer change in the size of the quantum dots can change its emission color. So that's why these materials are very important when the when material engineering is concerned. So engineer confinement control for specific applications. So for specific applications, you can engineer the materials. You can engineer the confinement, and according to that, the properties will change. Right? So they completely behave differently when nanometer size has come. Okay. So these are the structures, quantum dots. They are called as zero dimensional, only confined states and no freely moving ones. Okay. They are just restricted. Their movement, they are restricted in a particular place, at a particular place in the lattice. So that will change the property. Nanowires, they are called as 1D, one dimensional. They travel along only one direction. Which is the direction? If you see the quantum wire, this is the direction, long way. The particle can go here, but they are confined in two directions. But in one direction, they can travel like this. Okay? And in quantum wells, they are confined within a thin layer. So the particles can move all along this thin layer. Okay. So this is called as two-dimensional structure, quantum wave, nanostructure. Okay. So this is the concept we should learn about quantum confinement and quantum processes. This is again another diagram, same thing is there, quantum wells, wires and dots. You can see here, it can be called as bulk material. From that bulk material, if the restrictions are in two dimensions, then it is called as, if it is free in two dimensions, then it is called as 2D quantum well. This is 1D quantum wire and this is 0D quantum dot. These are the graphs related to density of states. This is the combined graph which is plotted. So you can see this blue line. It is for bulk or 3D material. Red steps, staircases, they are quantum well, two-dimensional. These green spikes, these are called as quantum wires, 1D. And the black discrete lines, they are called as quantum dots. Energy in mega electron volt. Yeah, right? Milli or mega. Small m is written there. It's okay. Now quantum dot, again, the same thing is written here. A quantum dot is a nanometer size semiconductor. It consists of 10 raised to 3 to 10 raised to 6 atoms. So a dot, though it is in its dimension is in nanometer, you can see that there are numerous number of atoms, 10 raised to power 3 to 10 raised to power 6 atoms, right? So dot is also at atomic level, it is also a big structure. But for us, it is very small structure, quantum size, right? So quantum effects appear due to three-dimensionally confined electrons. In all dimensions, the particle is, electrons are confined. The energy levels are discrete. We have seen the energy levels are discrete. So again, the same structures. Bulk material, a thin sheet of bulk material is taken out. Then we restrict one dimension, so it is quantum well. From quantum wells, if you derive quantum wire to two dimensions, and then from this quantum wire, we can go for quantum dots. Okay. Again, same thing is there in different. You can see here energy levels, and according to that, bulk material is having such kind of structure. These are vibrational levels, energy levels. So it is greater than 20 nanometer. quantum dots. Here this dimension is 1 to 20 nanometer, but generally 1 to 10 nanometer we say the structure as quantum dots. 1 to 3 nanometer is molecules, and 1.2 angstrom is atom size, right, diameter. So then this is the comparison purpose. The reduction in the number of atoms in a material results in the confinement of normally delocalized energy states. Means what? In quantum dots, the number of atoms are reduced, and that results in the quantum effect, which is nothing but confinement of the charge carriers. Suppose electrons are their charge carriers, then their motion or their movement is restricted. They are confined to a localized area, and the energy states, they are restricted, right? So electron hole pairs become spatially confined when the diameter of a particle approaches the de Broglie wavelength of electrons in the conduction band. So that radius is called as excitance Bohr radius. And that we have seen in the previous lectures also. So the energy difference between these energy bands is increased when there is decrease in particle size. Right? We already seen this. So depending on the uncertainty principle, how we can explain that. So the uncertainty principle states that the more precisely one knows the position of particle, there is uncertainty in its momentum, and vice versa. So the more spatially confined and localized a particle becomes, means we can, if you say that the particle is locating there, then the broader the range of its momentum or energy. So we cannot say that we cannot predict about its momentum, okay, and vice versa also. If we can locate the particle, then we cannot tell about momentum. If we can tell about momentum, then we cannot locate the particle, vice versa also. Okay? So this is manifested as an increase in the average energy of the electrons in the conduction band. So if we say that a particle is confined at a particular location, then there must be increase in its energy or momentum. Momentum is related to energy. So as an increase in the average energy of electrons in the conduction band is equal to increased energy level spacing equal to larger band. So as the energy increases, that means there must be a large energy difference between two bands, and that results into larger band gap. So as the particle size is reduced, that means it is confined, that means we say that it is localized, right? So according to uncertainty principle, you can say that there must be increase into energy. Increase into energy means its energy difference between two energy levels will be greater, and that means it has larger band gap. So the band gap of a spherical quantum dot is proportional to 1 upon r square, where r is the particle radius. So when r is greater, so certainly the band gap is more, and if r is less, r is the particle radius. So if r is less, it is 1 upon r square. R is in denominator. If it is less, its square is further less, and 1 upon that less will be greater. and 1 upon r square is proportional to energy band gap, right? So if r is less, energy will be increased, right? So that is the reason why we are getting greater band gap when the particle size is reduced. Now let us see how the quantum nanostructures they are prepared. Now this is that process, lithography, which is used to prepare our ICs and PCBs also, where in if you see a bigger size PCB, there are so many tracks lying near to each other, very less distance between two tracks. So manually it is very difficult to track. So how to engrave or how to transfer this pattern, such kind of structure is there, right, on PCB. So how to transfer this pattern on the board, in laminate is there. So on that laminate, how to transfer this pattern? So with the help of this lithography process, this pattern is transferred on this one board, and then with the help of UV exposure and all these things come in preparation of PCBs also. Okay, some at some scale, you can say large PCBs, they use this process, and in ICs also, integrated circuit, because in integrated circuits, in a small space, ICs are very small, right? So our 741 op-amp and all, these ICs are very small. So the in that IC also, 555 timer IC or 741 IC op-amp, all these are 14 pin or 8 pin ICs. So in 8 pin ICs, the space is again small. So in that small space, hundreds of transistors, resistors, they are created. Transistors, resistors, they are created, and their interconnecting paths also. So some metallic paths, they are also created, which are connecting to each other. Metallic or some conducting paths, you can say. Not metallic word is wrong here. Conducting paths, I must say. Conducting paths, they should be created, which are joining two components. Okay. So how they are created? With the help of this lithography process only. So very useful. So you can see now this quantum nanostructure, which are having dimension in 1 to 10 nanometer, they can be created. So in this small dimension, if you want to create the structure, you need some specialized technique. So that technique is called as lithography. Okay. So you can see here, there is a substrate. On the substrate, there is semiconductor layer. In this semiconductor layer, if you see, one dimension is in nanometer, very small size. Let us call it as nanometer range. And the other two dimensions, this and this, these are greater. So small size, one dimension is in nanometer, and other two dimensions they are suppose in micrometer, then it is called as quantum veil. So quantum veil is first created. This pink color layer is semiconductor layer. Quantum veil is first created, that means thin film of semiconductor, it is deposited, right? And then some photoresist is there, photoresist material, which is you can say light activating material, which is which changes its structure when it is exposed to light. Now here which light we are using? UV light. Okay, and in between, that means on this photoresist there is patterned mask. Now what is the function of this mask? It will create the design. What kind of design, what kind of structure, nanostructure you want to be created, that will be drawn on this mask, pattern mask. That's why it is called as patterned mask, right? So some kind of pattern, what kind of nanostructure you require, that pattern is drawn on this mask. It is kept on this layer. Then it is exposed to UV light. IR light also can be used. So depending on which light you are using, the material, photoresist material will change. Okay, it should respond to that particular wavelength of light, right? So here, when it is exposed, then photo mask you have to remove. So that pattern get excavated here. After developing, that means there is a solution called as developer. So this photoresist material will be etched out after keeping it in developer solution. Okay, so this material, this quantum dot, squared quantum dot kind of material you require, that will remain only, and this other portion other than this structure is etched out with the help of etching solution, right? And then if you can see here, the quantum dot structure remains there. So where 1, 2 and 3 dimension, all they are in nanometer. Okay, and after that, this photoresist material, it is also washed out by keeping it into certain solution. Okay, so this purple color material, photoresist material, that is also etched out. So what will remain is the structure, which is quantum dot. All the three sides, they are in nanometer. So this lithography technique is very useful. So not only now here only for representational purpose or for explanation purpose, only one quantum dot is shown, but there are numerous possibilities. You can design particular mask for that, for particular design or particular nanostructure. Right? So the pattern is drawn on this mask, pattern mask. And according to that, your structure is designed. If you want here another quantum dots, then 2 quantum dots will be there lying side by side. If you want here still further quantum dots, right, besides this behind these 2 bigger dots, then you have to draw like that. What size you need, according to that, you have to make the design, prepare the design or this pattern mask, right? So this kind of possibilities are there, various possibilities. Not only a single layer, we can use multi-layer, we can create multi-layered quantum dots also. And not only quantum dots, quantum wires, quantum veils. Quantum veils are directly deposited. So thin film, we can create it with the help of various thin film deposition techniques, chemically or physically. Physically vapor deposition or chemical vapor deposition, CVD and PVD. These are the methods available for coating or creating thin film of semiconductor. Okay. Similarly, quantum wires can be created by using first depositing this semiconductor layer and then creating pattern mask of wires. Okay, so any pattern you can create with the help of this lithography technique. So let us see how to create multiple quantum dots. So you can see here in your book, this diagram is given. 4 cycle multiple quantum well arrangement mounted on a substrate and covered by a photoresist. A radiation shielding template for lithography is shown at the top. So this template or mask, it is nothing but a mask. Okay. So these are, if you see, you can imagine which kind of structure you are getting. These are circular quantum dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So you can see array of 3 quantum dots in one line. They can be created, right? And you can see here quantum veils 1, 2, 3 and 4. These black colored layers, there are 4 layers. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Right? So multi-layered quantum dots in an array of 3 can be created by using this mask. Right? So substrate is there, then quantum veils are there, and then photoresist material. Put the mask on it and then expose it to UV light. So UV rays will enter through this mask and they will create 1, 2, 3, then this 4, 5 and 6. 6 quantum dots they will create here, design. Right? And then different solutions, developer or etching solutions. The photoresist is removed and then what will create will be array of 6 quantum dots, right, in 2 rows. Let us see how the structure will be seen. This is that structure. 1, 2, 3 in one line, 1, 2, 3 on other line. So it is a multi-layered quantum dots or called as quantum dot array formed by lithography from the initial configuration of last figure we have seen. This 24-fold quantum dot array consists of 6 columns. So you can see here, these are just like a cylindrical columns, like any building structure. Heighted, some heighted columns are there, right? So quantum dot array formed by lithography from the initial, this 24-fold quantum dot array consists of 6 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of 4 stacked 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 stacked quantum dots. Okay, so why there is a need of multiple this one multi-structured, multi-layered? Because if you see, there are some light emitting materials. For example, I am taking light emitting materials. There is a material called as phosphor, which converts say UV light to visible. There are other possibilities also. From IR to visible also is possible. So in lighting industry, generally UV light is either created or taken, and it is used to convert UV to visible, because visible light is useful for us for lighting purposes to in our households or offices, labs, industries. We need light, right? Even in daylight also, sometimes we need light to make those to have enough sufficient light. Sun rays are not sufficient, then we use artificial light, right? And that artificial light we are getting nowadays from LED bulbs, right? So LED bulbs uses mechanism of electroluminescence and photoluminescence. Okay, so electroluminescence means when electric current is passed, we are getting light. So electric energy is converted into light energy, right? And we also use photoluminescence. Why photoluminescence? Because with the help of electroluminescence, UV light is generated, and that UV light then converts, it is used to convert in it is used to get visible light. Okay, so if you see our LED bulbs, it has UV light or UV LED, you can call it as UV LED source. This UV LED source is first lit up and it is used to fall on some kind of phosphor material. So this phosphor material absorbs this UV and gives you visible light. Okay, this is the mechanism of LED bulb. So for 1 watt, 1 chip is used there, yellow color chip. If you see such yellow color strips or chips are there inside LED bulb. If 9 watt bulb is there, you can see 9 such chips. 4 plus 3, 7, 8 and 9. So 9 such chips are there on the inside that light dome. Reflector is there, and below that you can observe, if you take out that cover, the plastic cover, you can see 9 such chips. Okay, so 1 watt for 1 chip. So these are nothing but UV emitting chips, and that UV emitting chips, UV LED chips, on it binder plus phosphor material is there. So that binder means it is for just to stick that phosphor material evenly on that UV LED. Okay, so when you make light on, UV light is generated. That UV light chip is having phosphor and binder on it. The upper coating is phosphor coating. So as soon as the UV light falls on this phosphor coating, it will give you visible light. And the combination of all these phosphors, the phosphors are red, green and blue color emitting. Okay. So the proper blend of this phosphor, proper amount of phosphor material is there which emit red, green and blue. Then this the proper combination only you will get, due to the proper combination only you will get proper white light. Otherwise some yellowish white you can get, off white, right? Such kind of light you can get. So that is very important in preparation of any LED bulbs. So lots of research continuously goes on in R&D department of any company like General Electrical, GE, Philips, Syska, right? All they are pioneers in producing LED bulbs. So they are all using these techniques. So why I'm discussing this is the matter, the layers matter here. Okay, what a single layer can give, it can absorb small amount of UV light, right? And the conversion from UV to visible. So these material quantum dots can be of phosphor materials. So if it is less in quantity, less light will be emitted, less light will be absorbed, UV light will be absorbed and less visible light will be emitted. But if you take stacking of such quantum dots in the same space, you are taking more number of quantum dots. You are accommodating more number of quantum dots. So your light output will be increased. So this is one example. I'm taking this example for light emitting LED bulbs. Okay. The same property can be used for other purposes also, right? Same technique can be used for other applications also. Okay. So more number of quantum dots, that means more output you will get. Getting or not? The point is clear? Hello, is there anyone? क्लास में हो ना? Yes, no, कोई नहीं कुछ बोल रहा है. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yeah. ठीक है. More number of quantum dots will give you output more. So in a same space, you can use that space for multiple quantum dots. Now this is the example. Photoluminescence spectrum of an array of 60 nanometer diameter quantum dots formed by lithography compared with the spectrum of initial as grown multiple quantum wave. The intense peak at 0.76 electron volt is attributed to the localized excitance Le in the superlattice SL. The spectra were taken at temperatures 4 Kelvin. So this is the graph taken from paper or chapter, no, means book, volume 3, chapter 5. A book. The chapter is written by Siddiqui and Torres. So you can see here PL intensity means photoluminescence intensity. So light intensity Photoluminescence intensity is light intensity. Luminescence means emission of light, and photoluminescence means due to light. Light emission due to light. Okay. Light emission due to light. That means UV light is this light and this is visible light. Visible light emission due to UV light, right? Like this. So this is called as photoluminescence. Who causes, which factor causes the emission of light? Another light. Okay. So that is PL, photoluminescence. There is chemiluminescence. Chemiluminescence means luminescence caused due to chemicals, right? Sonoluminescence means luminescence caused due to ultrasonic waves. That is sonoluminescence. So the cause of emission of light will be different. Here light causes the emission of light. That's why photoluminescence. Okay. So as grown, multiple quantum veil is this one. And if you take the array of quantum veil, that is stacking an array of 60 nanometer diameter quantum veils, quantum dots formed by lithography, then you can see there is a vast difference in the spectrum. You can see it is broad as compared to this narrow. This is narrow spectrum. The peak is at the same, almost same, right? 0.76 को है peak, but the width of the peak is broad, right? And the intensity is also more. This is less, this is intensity, and this is increased intensity for 60 nanometer quantum dots, array of 60 nanometer quantum dots formed by lithography. So you can see that intensity also increases and it is broad. It covers more area, right? So that is the difference why we are using this stacking of array, stacking of quantum dots for any specific purpose. Okay. It was proved by various experiments that the array are beneficial. Can we take a break? 10 minutes का break ले ले. What is the time? 3, 4. ठीक है, 3:15 को ज्वाइन हो जाओ फिर से. ठीक है. We will resume at 3:15. मैं अभी आपको लॉगिन रखना है तो रखो.
Okay.
So now let us learn about size effects. Then how many number of atoms are there on the surface? We can mathematically calculate it. Consider a structure of GaAs, that is gallium arsenide. Its unit cell consists of 4 Ga and 4 As atoms, gallium 4, which are shown here by black circles, this one, and arsenic, they are shown by yellow circles. So you can see here one Ga atom is connected to 4 arsenic. Each Ga is connected to 4 arsenic atoms, right? So this unit cell of this GAS consists of 4 Ga and 4 As atoms. Its lattice constant A equal to 0.565 nanometer and volume is 0.180 nanometer cube. So these are the mathematical equations where in which we can by which we can calculate number of atoms on the surface, total number of atoms, and this D is the size or dimension of the cube unit cell is uh, is calculated by using n into a. N is number of unit cells. So if you take this different number of n's, we can calculate D, NT, and NS, and we can calculate the percentage of surface atoms. And when the size is reduced in nanometer, then how the number of you can say atoms on the surface, they will be increased. Let us do this comparative study.
हेलो मैम। हेलो।
Okay,
हेलो मैम।
I was muted. मैंने अभी जो बोला कुछ नहीं सुना होगा आपने।
हाँ वही कब से मैं सोच रही हूँ।
ओह माय गॉड, मतलब जब से शुरू किया तब से म्यूट ही था क्या?
यस मैम।
फिर तब से आपने कुछ नहीं बोला?
तब से वही मुझे लगा मेरे नेटवर्क में कुछ प्रॉब्लम है फोन के।
somebody has posted on chat box also. मेरा माइक चल नहीं रहा। I'm so sorry, मेरा ध्यान ही नहीं था, मैं इतना सब
हाँ।
बड़बड़ करके गई। Anyway, okay, we have to see the size effects.
यस मैम।
So GaAs unit cell, that is gallium arsenide unit cell, consists of 4 gallium and 4 arsenic atoms. So you can see here black circles, Ga. It is connected to 4 arsenic atoms, yellow atoms, right? So you can calculate the number of atoms on surface by using Ns equal to 12n square formula. Nt atoms on atoms as total atoms in the unit cell, 8n cube plus 6n square plus 3n, and d, that is size, equal to n into a, where a is the lattice parameter, lattice constant a, that is 0.565 nanometer for GaAs unit cell, right? So you can substitute all these values here and calculate for different n, size, total number nt, number of surface atoms ns, and then percentage of atoms on the surface. So there are 6 students ना, तो 4 और 5 है ना, नीतीश तुम कैलकुलेट करो। 6 and 10, Vivek you calculate। 15, Manali तुम कैलकुलेट करो। 25, अंकिता कैलकुलेट करो। प्रतीक 50 के लिए करो, 5050, एंड देन 100 के लिए कौन बचा है? वन मोर स्टूडेंट इज देयर ना, कितने हैं स्टूडेंट्स? 6 है ना? प्रणीत, प्रणीत 100 के लिए
यस मैम।
100 के लिए कैलकुलेशन करो, all these 3 quantities and percentage, and then tell me.
मैम
हम्म,
एक मिनट पीछे वाले पेज पे बैक करिए ना प्लीज। थैंक यू मैम। हो गया मैम।
कैलकुलेट हो गया?
मैम कर रहा हूँ।
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
For n is equal to 4,
एक
NS will be 192, NP will be 620.
योर वॉइस इज ब्रेकिंग, कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है.
Ma'am, 192.
किसका?
Size.
टोटल.
Yes, ma'am. Total.
टोटल 1
No, ma'am, total is 620.
620.
And number of surface atom will be 192.
परसेंटेज
And and size of size will be 2.26.
2.26.
Yes, ma'am.
मैम 25 का
हम्म
साइज 13.125.
13 लिखते हैं. हाँ. टोटल नंबर
टोटल नंबर 128
नंबर ऑफ सरफेस एटम्स
825. मैम यहाँ पर मीन्स टोटल नंबर ऑफ एटम में आएगा 1,28,825.
टोटल नंबर ऑफ सरफेस एटम्स.
टोटल नंबर ऑफ एटम्स
टोटल नंबर ऑफ 1 लाख कितना?
1,28,825.
ओके. हाँ ठीक है. और
एंड
ये
सरफेस एटम में 7,500.
परसेंटेज निकालो. दिस डिवाइडेड बाय दिस मल्टीप्लाई बाय 100. 7500 डिवाइडेड बाय 128825.
5.97.
5.97. हाँ. और बताओ किसका आया? नीतीश इसका परसेंटेज निकाला.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ.
32.2.
32.2. और 5 का नहीं निकाला. n इक्वल टू 5. 4 और 5 बोला था तुमको. ओके. और किसी का हो गया? बताओ जल्दी जल्दी. प्रतीक हो गया. अंकिता.
यस मैम मेरा हो गया.
अंकिता का ही था क्या ये 25?
हाँ मैम हो
ओके.
गया.
हाँ. और कौन बचा है? मनाली. अब चैट में डाल रहे हैं क्या? मुझे नहीं दिख रहा है. ओपन करना था. माइक में प्रॉब्लम रहते हैं क्या आपका? तो बोल नहीं सकते हैं. हंड्रेड का किसको बोला था? विवेक हो गया क्या?
नो मैम, मुझे 15 का था.
15 का था. हो गया.
नो मैम, कर रहा हूँ.
100 किसे बोला था? प्रणीत,
Yes, ma'am.
फिफ्टी किसको था? प्रतीक, बताओ जल्दी जल्दी बेटा, बहुत टाइम जा रहा है। चैट बॉक्स में लिखो, नहीं तो इतना बड़ा कैलकुलेशन है क्या वो? नहीं ना, एन की वैल्यू ही रखनी है ना। नीतीश 5 का हो गया क्या? n इक्वल टू 5।
Ma'am, NS will be 300. Total number of surface atoms.
हाँ, नंबर ऑफ सरफेस एटम्स कितना? 300। हाँ, तो
Atom will be 2815.
कितना?
2815. 2815.
ऐसे कैसे हो गया? टोटल नंबर ऑफ एटम्स 1165 है। साइज कितना?
मैम
हम्म,
15 का,
हाँ बोलो।
डी का 7.875, सॉरी 7.875, हाँ मैम 875।
हाँ, हो गया।
और टोटल है मैम 2520।
हम्म,
मैम सरफेस का वैल्यू है 2700।
हम्म,
मैम एक
परसेंटेज?
मिनट निकालता हूँ, जस्ट एक मिनट।
ये 2520 कैसे आया? इट शुड बी इन लैक्स ना। 25 के जस्ट अबव है ना ये, 1000 में नहीं होगा ये।
अच्छा मैं एक मिनट में क्रॉस चेक करता हूँ।
हाँ, ये ज्यादा होगा, 10 कुछ फैक्टर रह गया। टेन का किसको बोला था? अरे बाबा,
Yes, ma'am. 1165.
इसका
5 का total number of atoms.
एक मिनट, हाँ। कितना?
1165.
किसमें?
Yes, ma'am. Total number of atoms. 5 का.
5 का, हाँ 1165। ठीक है, और ये किया 2 पॉइंट कितना? 8385 होगा।
2.8. Yes.
ठीक है, परसेंटेज कितना आ रहा है? 300 डिवाइडेड बाय 1165 करो।
मैम 100 का लिखो ना।
हाँ, साइज
52.5। टोटल नंबर ऑफ एटम 80,60,300। and number of surface atom 1,20,000.
1,20,000.
And percentage 1.488.
बरोबर. 49 suppose. 488 ना 49.
Yes, ma'am.
50 का हेलो बताओ भाई जल्दी, इतना टाइम नहीं लेना. Who has calculated for 50?
Ma'am, surface atom 30,000.
इसका
50.
कितना?
30,000.
30,000. Right. Total? टोटल कैलकुलेट किया?
मैम
हम्म
15 का सॉरी टोटल टोटल आ रहा है 28,395.
28,000.
395.
395.
95.
बस इतना ही है.
हाँ मैम इतने आ रहे, मैंने सिर्फ
15
तीन
का 28,000.
28,395.
हाँ ठीक है. 10⁴ आ रहा है, बराबर है. 2.8 into 10⁴ बराबर है. तो इसका ये निकाल दो अभी. 2700 डिवाइडेड बाय 28,395 मल्टीप्लाई बाय 100. So percentage of atoms on surface.
Nine point double three. 700 divided by 0.200.
नहीं, which one you are telling me? For
Ma'am,
50?
700 divided by 7500 into 100. This one.
700 किधर है? 2,700.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
2,700 divided by 28,395. 50 वाला हो गया क्या?
मैम 10 का.
Ma'am, 50 वाला size 28.25.
हाँ. Total number?
And total number of atoms so 10 lakh 15,150.
10 lakh.
10 lakh 15,150. हाँ
बराबर है?
15,150.
हाँ बराबर है क्या? ये देखो 1015. ये एक जीरो और चाहिए. 10⁶ आ रहा है ना. 1 2 3 4 5 6 बराबर है. ये परसेंटेज 30,000 डिवाइडेड बाय ये करो 10 लाख 15,150. यस. किसका हो गया? 10 का.
10 का मैम.
5.65.
5.65.
5.65. Total number of atoms
1,200.
1,200. किसका है ये? 10 का. नहीं, ये तो बराबर नहीं निकला.
Ma'am, 15 9.50 percentage.
9.50.
50.
ठीक है.
50 का मैम 2.95.
2.95. ओके सरफेस एटम्स बोलो 10 का. ये 1200 है सरफेस एटम्स. और इसका टोटल एटम्स बोलो.
Uh, 8,630.
राइट. और इसका निकाला परसेंटेज निकाला.
हाँ,
1200 डिवाइडेड बाय 8630 करो. मल्टीप्लाई बाय
13.90.
13.9.
राइट 13.9. 6 का किसी ने नहीं निकाला, रहने दो फिर अभी. इसका परसेंटेज बोल दो 5 का.
मैम 6 का 432 है. नंबर ऑफ टोटल सरफेस एटम.
432.
टोटल
साइज 3.15 है.
1960.
और ये
3.15.
3.15. ठीक है. इसका ये निकाल दो दोनों. परसेंटेज ऑफ एटम्स ऑन सरफेस. 432 डिवाइडेड बाय 1962.
मैम 45.4.
किसका?
4.54.
4.54 नहीं.
Ma'am, 22.016.
22.01 राइट. इसका it should be above this, in between 32 and 22. ये आना चाहिए यहाँ. 300 divided by 1165.
Ma'am, 25.75.
right. 25.75. now if you see, देखो आप सबने कंप्लीट कर दिया टेबल. see the figures here. size, when this number of unit cells they are increasing, that means this first particle is having 2 number of unit cells. Second particle is having 3, then 4. So the unit cells are increasing. That means particle size is also increasing, right? Here also we can see particle size. It goes on increasing. 1.13, 1.70, 2.26. Gradually it is increasing and reaches to 52.5 nanometer, right? So that particle contains 100 unit cells, right? So see the total number of atoms in that also goes on increasing. 94, then 275, 279, 620, and then it goes into lakhs, right? Number of surface atoms, if you see, (48), 108, 192, 300, 452. So surface atoms are also increasing, but so are means its size is also increasing, no? So number of surface atoms, they are also increasing. But if you see the last column, percentage of atoms on surface, that is greater, highest for which one? Which is having small size of particle, right? So more number of atoms will be on the surface for small size of particle. As the size goes on increasing, the percentage of atoms on the surface as compared to the total number of atoms, you can see that the percentage will go on decreasing. As the particle size is bigger, it is biggest from this table, you can see that only 1.49% of atoms are on the surface, whereas for the first particle which is having small size, they are having almost 50% of atoms on the surface. So that is the reason why these nanoparticles, they are more reactive, because more number of atoms are available on the surface, and the particle easily react with other particles, and they have also tendency not to react also and to agglomerate also, right? So with the neighboring particle, it will react and it will form a larger size particle. Getting or not? So this is the structure of the nanoparticle. Has a diamond lattice structure in the shape of a cube, n unit cells on the side, on A side having a width NA, and where A is the unit cell dimension, right? So GAAS structure we have studied, right, with for different number of unit cells, right? So according to that, number of unit cell will increase, that means particle size will increase, and so the percentage of atoms on the surface will also change, right? And it is proven that these smaller size particles are having large number of atoms on their surface. Okay, so that is the size effect of nano size materials. Okay.
Ma'am, that percentage of previous slide.
क्या बोला, कुछ नहीं समझा क्या?
Yes, ma'am. In that percentage of atom on the surface means the contribution of atom means
On the surface, yes. On the surface, more number of atoms are available. Okay, as compared to this total number. See, if you compare this here again, you can see here 94 total numbers are there, and of course, almost 50% are on the surface. Here 279 are there, 38% of atoms. 108 means 38% of this total 279. So that is the property of nano material only. Okay. If you एक simple example ले लो, if you take a cube, एक ऐसा cube आपने ले लिया, how many faces are there? क्यूब के कितने होते हैं? 1 2 3 4, कितने हो गए? और ऊपर वाला एक और नीचे वाला एक, साइड के 4 हो गए, एंड टॉप एंड बॉटम दीज आर 2. सो टोटल कितने? 6 फेसेस है, राइट?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, तो नाउ इसको मैंने ऐसा डिवाइड कर दिया. थ्री डी डायग्राम नहीं आता है. Okay, if you divide, go on dividing it in equal number of parts. तो अभी देखो surface number of surface कितना बढ़ता है कि नहीं, देखो. As compared to total parts of this cube, the total faces they will increase. फिर इसको और further छोटा करो, और ज्यादा बढ़ेंगे. तो ये that is the same exercise. ये जो हमने लिखा है ना अभी, number of percent atoms on surface will be more as compared to total atoms. So this is our total atoms. तो इसको एक स्क्वायर को आप एक एटम कंसिडर करो और ये एक्सरसाइज करके देखो, यू विल कम टू नो. ओके, तो जितना आप छोटे छोटे इसके टुकड़े करते जाएंगे उतना ज्यादा से ज्यादा ऊपर आते जाएंगे. ओके, दैट इज द प्रॉपर्टी, वन ऑफ द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ nanomaterial. More number of atoms, that's why they have large amount of energy available due to these atoms on surface only. Surface energy is more there. That's why they are more reactive. Okay. Now here comes the next topic, single electron tunneling. Now why it is possible with the help of this quantum dot, the conduction of single electron from one point to other point. So it can carry one electron at a time, and it can take one electron from this source, and it can be given to drain through via these quantum dots. Okay, so if you that is called as single electron tunneling. So it is called as coupling of quantum dot to an external circuit through source and drain leads. सोर्स और ड्रेन किसके पार्ट्स है? टर्मिनल से. Which electronic component are having source and drain? ट्रांजिस्टर में होता है क्या?
यस मैम, ट्रांजिस्टर.
कौन सा ट्रांजिस्टर में? बाइपोलर जंक्शन ट्रांजिस्टर.
बाइपोलर जंक्शन.
हाँ,
यस मैम, बाइपोलर जंक्शन वाला.
बाइपोलर जंक्शन में होता है. कौन से 3 टर्मिनल्स होते हैं बीजेटी में?
एमिटर कलेक्टर.
ड्रेन सोर्स और गेट होता है ना, 3 जंक्शन.
हेलो, स्क्रीन पे क्या दिख रहा है आपको?
Yes, ma'am.
स्क्रीन पे अभी क्या दिख रहा है?
पावर पॉइंट.
नहीं, पावर पॉइंट में भी यहाँ मेरे 2 विंडोज दिख रही है मुझे, इसलिए कुछ.
This is a semiconductor.
मैम सिंगल विंडो दिख रहा है.
क्या दिख रहा है?
सिंगल विंडो ये पीपीटी वाला.
साइज पे दिख रहा है.
पीपीटी में क्या दिख रहा है बताओ?
साइड इफेक्ट की पीपीटी में।
सेट
साइज इफेक्ट वाला ही दिख रहा है, सिंगल इलेक्ट्रॉन टनलिंग नहीं
यस
दिख रहा।
मैम। नो मैम।
ओके, रुको फिर मैं ये स्टॉप शेयर करती हूँ फिर से। अरे ये बाकी स्टूडेंट्स आ गए क्या?
यस मैम।
ओ